Guess where we are? Go on, guess. Yep, we're at the wonderful Retrotech event in Coventry, held each year by the British Vintage Wireless Society, which this year, 2026, is celebrating its 50th anniversary. So we're going to have a quick look around. We won't be able to see everything. I'll focus on a few interesting things, but this is just a quick tour around the main room of the event, just to give you a feel of the event and what happens. So let's have a look, shall we? If you're after a vintage reel-to-reel tape recorder, this is always a great place to come. Retrotech. Cross over and I'll just show you that it's not always real vintage technology. Sometimes there are slightly more up-to-date things. These phones here are a good example, for example. That makes sense, doesn't it? Cross back along, and a lovely selection of vintage radios here. Swing back around, and if we look here, this store has a lovely selection of some nice radios, a nice turntable there, amplifier, lovely pi valve radio there, a very unusual GEC one there, look about Elvis, so that's always good, and a really early receiver there. Right, so we'll come around here. What about that? And those lovely great telephones there. Lots of spare valves for sale if you need any, and catalogues and magazines and all sorts. We'll keep going. Many spare valves for sale here. Just swing the camera around so we can see some of these fantastic vintage radios. I should point out, by the way, it's getting quite late in the day. It's probably around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so quite a lot has already sold, as you can imagine. Still lots of lovely stuff here to look at. Look at that horn gramophone, fantastic. I'm going to come around here to show you these. Aren't they just fantastic? Keep walking. You do see quite a lot of nice military radios here. A couple of good examples there. If I come back this way, again a lovely contrast there, a nice early reel-to-reel tape recorder, and next to it, 80s computer equipment. And people have some great t-shirts here as well.
And I've never seen a complete one anywhere else.
Keep looking. These portable radios from the 1960s are always worth getting, because a lot of them do still work, and they sound great, and they look great. You can see just there. We've got a lovely dance set record player there, only 50 quid, and a fantastic Columbia gramophone. I'll come back around here. Here's a great selection of all sorts of things really. Turntables, cassette players, portable radios, portable record players. A couple of nice dance set radios there. And this person's got magazines and all sorts. I suppose essentially Retrotech is a sort of specialist antiques fair, but it's certainly one of the best and most fun and most interesting. It's well worth a visit. It's on every year at the Sports Connection Centre in Coventry, organised by the British Vintage Wireless Society. One thing you do always see a lot of here is a selection of great old telephones and telephone memorabilia. I mean, that's a Chad Valley telephone. And it's not a toy either, it's a proper phone. And look at these, aren't they just fantastic? Lots of good vinyl here as well, so that's always welcome. And again, some extremely posh vintage turntables. Look at that Thorens one. It's got everything you need. These are BBC transcription discs of various rock and pop shows. They're amazing. I love that. Orange 1970s portable television set. Very 70s, very nice. Let's keep walking, shall we? As I said before, it's quite late in the day now, so it's not quite as busy as it was earlier. Not quite as much stuff on sale. Again, another great reel-to-reel there. Vintage amplifiers. Lovely. What do we look at? I don't know. So much to look at. Now that is what you call a horn gramophone. Great. Still lots of people here, even though it's quite late in the day, and that's good to see. Portable television set there from the early 80s, I would say. Late 70s, early 80s. Still in working condition. Swing the camera back around here. Fantastic upright radio there, lovely. That looks like one you have in the car, doesn't it? Perhaps it is. These vintage valve radios from the 1930s. They're for restoration, obviously. They're not in working order at the moment. But they can be had from as little as £10. Isn't that just amazing? Look at these wonderful old tellies. A dual standard one there from the mid-1960s. From the time when you had 625 line and 405 line transmissions on your TV. That one could receive either. Only £65. What about that? A vintage vacuum cleaner. This is nice and very unusual. It's by GEC and it's a see-through radio. Isn't that just great? Well, a lot of vintage computing equipment, excuse me, a lot of vintage computing equipment is considered retro now, so I think these fit right in. Oh, and of course you can go buy lots of vinyl, CDs, 78s here. Why not? A lot of people are looking at this German Blaupunkt radio from the early 50s. Not surprised, it's very, very nice. Superb amplifier there. Excuse my coughing. Another handsome vintage reel-to-reel tape recorder there too. And it works. And look at that great top-loading video recorder. Great. All the things you see at Retrotech. Some things are vintage, some things are more modern. Everything's for sale. Pretty much everything is absolutely wonderful. So there we are, Retrotech 2026 here in Coventry, UK. And yeah, I'm sorry I wasn't able to show you everything, but I hope you enjoyed this quick look at what was here today. And thank you for watching.